A very good evening. Welcome to Raack Talks, our Sunday seminar series. And we're glad all of you could make it this Sunday. And it's good to be spending this evening with you all. So today, what are we going to talk about? Who do we have for you? Well, all of you know now it's the new normal. And all of us are stuck to our laptop screen. It's virtual meetings, online school, online classes. Everything is online. And of course, it's very necessary. It is what we need to do at this point of time. But it does take a toll on all of our health and especially on our eyes. So what can we do to kind of soften the blow? What can we do to take care and, not let too much damage to happen? Well, that is what we are going to talk about today. Every week, we have some really great performances lined up by our very own students of Raack. And this time, we have from the Mylapore Center. And coming up first, we have Lakshna from the toddlers batch. Okay, Lakshna, ready? Perform pannadhukku? Very good.
On the floor, baby, hit it hard, baby, rock the party, baby, patulengi podi. On the floor, baby, hit it hard, baby, rock the party, baby, patulengi podi. Kudukku puttiya kuppayam muduthu mandana kaalatte midukki pinne ennude nenjin nadukirunnavalane nee. നടുക്കിരുന്നവളാണേ നീ നടവരമ്പത്ത് കണ്ടാലും പഠിക്കൽ അങ്ങനെ നിന്നാലും പടച്ചറപ്പേ പിന്നെന്റെ ഉള്ളിൽ പടക്ക പീടിക കത്തുന്നേ പടക്ക പീടിക ഉടുക്കു പൊട്ടിയ കുപ്പായം ഉടുത്തു മണ്ടണ കാലത്തെ മിടുക്കി പെണ്ണെ എന്നോട് നെഞ്ചിൻ നടുക്കിരുന്നവളാണേ നീ നടുക്കിരുന്നവളാണേ നീ On the floor, baby, hit it hard, baby, rock the party, baby, patulengi podi. On the floor, baby, hit it hard, baby, rock the party, baby, patulengi podi.
Thank you so much, Lakshna. That was so good. Next, we have, with the same energy, I would like to invite Augustus from the Senior Star Program. Let's go right into your performance.
Drop top Porsche, rollie on my wrist, diamonds up and down my chain. Cardi B straight stunning, can't tell me nothing. Bossed up and I changed the game. It's my big bronze boogie, got all them girls shook. My big fat ass got all them boys cooked. Went from dollar bills, now we popping rubber bands. Bruno sang to me while I do my money dance like, hey. Flexing on the gram like, hey. Hit that Lil Jon, okay. Oh yeah, we dripping the finesse and getting paid.
Ooh, don't we look good together? There's a reason why they watch all night long. Woo. Yeah, I know we'll turn heads forever. So tonight I'm gonna show you off. When I'm walking with you, I watch the whole room change. Baby, that's what you do. No, my baby don't play. Blaming all my confidence, I'm blaming all your measurements. Shut the shit down on sight. That's right.
Thank you so much, Joe. That was really great. Thank you. All right. Well, I think it's now time for what all of us have been waiting for, the main session of today, which is importance of eye safety and care. And today we have for you experts from this field to talk about this very, very, very important topic. I'd now like to introduce Mr. Manohar from LawrenceMayo to give a small introduction and then introduce the speaker. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Chandra ma'am.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I hope all are safe in this difficult situation. First of all, I would like to thank Raack Academy of Dance for allowing us to extend our service to you people. In this pandemic time, many of us would be learning and working in front of the screen for prolonged hours, where we may experience eye fatigue and other eye-related issues. Hope all will agree in this. That is why LawrenceMayo has took an initiative to promote the awareness of eye care and safety through webinar. After me, our presenter will elaborate on this now. Let me introduce our presenter, Mr. Sundar J, DO, B-Optum, Professional Services, LawrenceMayo, India. Without wasting much time, let me hand over the session to Sundar. Thank you. Sundar, over to you.
Hi, good evening everyone. Let me just share the screen. All right. Hope the screen is visible now. There was some amazing performance we had seen from the kids. So, okay. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's session on eye safety and care. Thanking you for taking your time out and being here today. Myself, I am Sundar, an eye care practitioner taking care of professional services for Lawrence and Mayo. I had spent nearly a decade and a half in practicing as eye care practitioner in various parts of India and Middle Eastern countries. So today we are going to discuss on the importance of eye safety and care, especially during the current COVID pandemic situation. As most of us are working from home, which also translates into having a lot of screen time, constantly using digital devices will lead to have eye strain or stress that can be easily preventable with right measures. So we are going to discuss on the importance of vision sense as compared to the other sensory organs, coronavirus and its effects on our eyes, maintenance of eyewear, getting adapted to the new normal, and what are the challenges we might face during these work from home or even learn from home. What are the impact of computers on our eyes? Discuss on digital eye strain, and we'll also discuss on the blue light and what are its impact on our eyes. Also discuss on the simple eye exercises, which has a great potential to improve the eyes health naturally. And we'll also discuss on the healthy diet for eyes. Last but not least, we'll discuss on the kids eye care, where they're also equally getting the risk condition as like the adults, and it's extremely more important because their eyes are still in developing stage. So let me just give a brief introduction about Lawrence and Mayo. Established in 1877, Lawrence and Mayo is the largest growing chains of opticians in India. A two-divisional company pioneers in ophthalmic optics and instrumentation has entered its third century of legacy. As one of India's most enduring and trusted optician, Lawrence and Mayo is known for its maintaining highest standards. A whole family and run business for over 143 years with over 116 stores spread across India. So the eye. Our eyes are a truly amazing organ. It's a wonderful creation of nature and masterpiece of perfection. And sight is one of the most precious possession. You know why the eyes are called as windows to the soul? Because they are the most sincere part of our face. We don't have any control over our eyes as other sensory organs. It's like when you like something, your pupils dilate involuntarily. So let us discuss on the 5 senses of human and how important is the sense of sight. So basically we have 5 senses, which is touch, sight, hearing, smell and taste. All these sensing organs, it's essential in order to understand and perceive the world around us. Out of these 5 senses, vision plays the most important sense. In fact, 80 to 87% of how we learn, perceive, process, and interact with the reality is based on the sense of sight. And due to this very reason, our brain devotes more space to processing and storing visual information than all other senses combined. Eyes are the second most complex organ after the brain in our human body. In fact, we perceive shape, distance, movement, color, heat, and even the depth by the sense of sight. So vision, it's an incredible process, and it's auto-initiated every time when a ray of light enters the eyes, making it possible to get to know about the objects in the environment without having to make any physical contact. In fact, human eye is a fragile extension of the brain, enclosed and protected by the bones of skull. The eyes and our visual system work on every second when we are awake, weaving a seamless visual reality from the environment in the form of light-based impulses. In fact, our eyes can capture and interpret more than 1 million pulse signals per millisecond and transmit to the brain. So let's move on to the coronavirus and what are the impacts of the COVID on our eye. So coronavirus actually can spread through the eyes as well, just as it does through mouth and nose. As we know, coronavirus are a contagious disease and spread through the fluids coming out of the nose and mouth. It's like when a coronavirus infected person coughs, sneezes, or talks, virus particles can spray through their mouth or nose onto your face, and you're likely to inhale those tiny droplets in through your mouth or nose, but they can also enter through your eyes as well. It can also become infected by touching something that has virus on it and then touching your eyes, like your doorknobs, tables, common household things. And what does it cause it on our eyes? It's called conjunctivitis. Even though it's extremely rare, it is still possible to get conjunctivitis, also known as pink eye, due to coronavirus. In fact, it developed in 1 to 3% of people who got affected with coronavirus. Also, there is a study still going on. There is a chance these viruses can go much deeper into our eyes. Right? So it basically spreads by touching the fluid from the infected person's eye or from the object that carry the fluid. So what are the measures we should follow in order to be safe? It can be hard to break this natural habit, especially when you're wearing spectacles, but doing so will lower your risk of infection, that is, rubbing your eyes. If you feel the urge to itch or rub your eyes, or even to adjust your glasses, it's always recommended to use a tissue instead of your fingers. And if you must touch your eyes for any reason, wash your hands properly with soap and water, or you can use alternatively the sanitizers, which has got at least 60 to 70% of alcohol base in it. So why these things are really important? Because uh, see, these viruses are quite new to us, and we are still learning how it impacts our lives. Basically, these live coronavirus particles can survive for anywhere between 3 hours to 7 days on a surface, depending on the material. In a recently developed study, when the environment is controlled, it can stay up to 28 days, right? And these viruses can exist on plastics for days, up to 7 days. So spectacles, it's mostly made of either plastics or metal. Needs to be cleaned properly before applying. Just to give a rough estimate on the coronavirus particle existing on pure regular surfaces, it might stay active for up to 3 years in case of tissue and paper. It would be active for 2 days in case of wood and fabrics, 4 days in glass and paper money, anywhere between 4 to 7 days in case of stainless steels and plastics, and above 7 days outside of the mask. So make sure to clean your eyeglasses at frequent intervals in order to remove the surface microbes. Also, make sure to clean them thoroughly, not forgetting the nose pads inside part of the spectacles, and dry them properly. Especially if there are kids wearing spectacles or even old age people, advise them to clean the glasses regularly and completely as well. Okay, so let's move on to the new normal. What does it mean? This COVID pandemic has sparked a global realization that our current way of life does not work and it needs to be changed in a particular way. That's how our new normal begins. In case of students, their complete modes of learning and teaching methodologies have drastically changed, which also brings the new challenges to learn or even work from home, and how we are going to address those challenges. That's what we are going to do it now. So, what are the possible challenges you might face when you're doing your work or even learning from home? Because it's all digital media now, and uh, earlier it was not that much, but now we are completely depending on the digital media. And these kind of strains and all, it is easily preventable. So in order to know that, we need to know what are the challenges we are facing. So it could be either due to poor lighting in the room, there could be some glare on the screen, let it be mobile or laptop. It could be improper viewing distances. We often tend to, move back and forth. It could be poor sitting posture, uncorrected vision problems, or a combination of these factors. All these brings the challenges. So let's start with the posture. We often take the comfortable seating posture and try to force ourselves for being in that position for longer duration. So basically, we should avoid sitting or laying on your couch or in bed with your computer, even mobile. Ideally, sit in a desk or a table if possible. And always remember to keep a straight torso. In the sense, your hip, shoulder, and head should be in one straight line. Be conscious of your posture. Get up and move around often. Even if you're comfortable, you should never sit in one position for more than an hour. Keep everything you need to work within the reach of your arm. Look down with your eyes, not with your neck. Mostly, if you see people who are continuously working in the computers and all, they tend to tilt their head forward in order to go closer to the screen, but it causes unwanted or it gives unbalanced posture, which puts more strain on your backbone. And finally, stay hydrated and stretch often. So, posture, there are, see, if you're working from office or even when you're at school, all these things are taken care of. They have proper ergonomic setup, which doesn't strain our eyes, or the posture also gets taken care of. But when you're doing it at home, we need to take these few simple steps in order to be sure. So ensure that your monitor is directly in front of you at an arm's length, and always position the top of the screen so that it is just at eye level or maybe 15 degrees below to it. So even in case if you don't have a proper chair which supports your back, you can keep a pillow in order to support, but never compromise on the posture. As you can see in the picture, you can adjust the screen level using any things which you can find it in the household. So computers, sometimes it's not only about the light coming out of the computer, but you need to think about the surrounding lights as well. Reduce the glare by using correct lighting. Adjust your screen brightness and contrast to the optimum level based on the surrounding lights. Also check whether is there any reflection on the screen when it's off, so that you can remove those source of reflection. And never sit in right in front of the window where excessive light will be hard on your eyes. Okay, so let's move on to the computer and vision. How does it affect? So eye problems caused by computer use isn't one specific problem. Instead, it includes wide range of eye strain and discomfort. Your eyes have to focus and refocus all the time. They move back and forth as you read. You may have to look down at your paper and then back up to type. Your eyes react to images constantly moving and changing, shifting focuses, which also sends rapidly varying images to the brain. All these jobs require a lot of effort from your eye muscles. And to make the things worse, unlike a book or a piece of paper, the screen adds a lot of contrast, flicker, and glare. And what's more, it is proven that we blink far less frequently when using a computer, from a normal blink rate of 16 to 20 per minute being reduced to 6 to 8 per minute, which causes our eyes to dry out and blur our vision periodically while working. So basically, when you blink frequently, it cleans the surface of our eye for any debris and washes it off with fresh tears. It creates a layer of protective coating on our eye, which helps sharpen your vision, clearing the vision, and brightening the image your retina receives. So, blue light. Blue light, it's not a new thing, but in fact, it's a part of our natural light, and it is essential component of sunlight which we receive every day. And blue light is everywhere. It is the visible light spectrum with the shortest wavelength and highest energy. In fact, as dangerous as ultraviolet rays. And how does it impact us? It's because we are spending more time on digital devices than ever before. Let it be desktops, laptops, flat screen televisions, mobiles, smartwatches, and the list goes on. As you know, light on these devices are not natural and unfortunately unbalanced. We call these light rays as high energy visible light rays, which are also known as blue light. And what makes it extremely dangerous is that the amount of time people spend using these devices and the proximity to the screen. And basically, these lights scatters more than the other visible rays and not easily focused. These unfocused visual noise reduces the contrast and cause severe form of visual distress. In fact, these are the rays which makes our sky appear blue due to scattering of shorter wavelength of the blue end of spectrum when they hit air and water molecules in the atmosphere. And but it is dangerous because we spend a lot of time into the digital devices and we are much closer to the source of it. And long term and continuous exposure to these harmful blue light can contribute to the long term damage of our eyes known as age related macular degeneration. So what are the other effects have blue light on our eyes? It basically disrupts our sleep cycle. Actually, blue light regulates our circadian rhythm, which is our body's natural wake and sleep cycle. But exposure to these blue lights, especially during the night through digital gadgets, can disturb these sleep wake cycle and leading to the problem of sleeping and daytime tiredness. Also, as we discussed earlier, it also leads to the macular degeneration. And in fact, these blue light has been identified for years as the most dangerous light for the retina. In fact, it is 15 times more harmful to the retina than any other form of visible light. So, blue light protection, is it an option or necessity? In today's digital age, we are not only exposed to the blue light from the computers alone, but also from various household man-made sources, right from the fluorescent bulbs, street lights, flat screen televisions, LED lights, smartphones, tablets, laptops. It's literally everywhere. So all these devices emit the blue light. And in fact, everyone needs to take precaution against the effect of blue light, whether we work in office or relax at home, spend hours staring at the computer screen or texting on our cell phones. We are all exposed to the blue light. In fact, over 60% of the population comes in contact with the blue light daily. So how do we protect? It's by using the blue protection lenses. It basically filters the harmful blue light, normalize your sleeping patterns, improve the contrast and reduces the glare, improve the visual acuity, and reduces the risk of cataract and age-related macular degeneration. It's basically like when you go out in the sun, you apply sunscreen lotion in order to protect our skin, right? It's a similar concept. You need to have these blue filter lenses, as a protection in order to, reduce the risk of getting affected. So, eye exercises. Exercises in general brings a positive change to everyone's lifestyle, be it exercise for the whole human body or for some specific parts such as heart or eye. They give a positive and healthy transition in their working. In fact, workouts are a natural solution to keep ourselves fit, healthy, and strengthened. Similarly, we have some specific natural exercises for our human eyes that can be performed in order to maintain a good vision health. How does it work? It makes the eyes more flexible and adaptable, which will keep the eyes from getting worse and in fact can improve them as well. So it's a widely known exercise 20-20-20. When you're working at a computer or laptop or even mobile, rest your eyes for at least 20 seconds by looking at something 20 feet away after using the computer for 20 minutes. That's how it's 20-20-20. Make sure when you're using the online classes or work from home, this becomes handy. So next one is palming exercise. It's a very simple exercise. You need to begin by rubbing your palms together in order to produce a low heat and then place them over your eyes for several seconds. Imagine the warmth seeping into your eye. Remember not to press down with your palms on your eyeball. In fact, it is very simple exercise, but has a great potential to relax your eyes. In fact, this exercise is especially well known in case of yoga training classes in order to relax the mind. Okay, these exercise seems so simple. Some might think it could be waste of time, but it actually helps. And in fact, exercises are never a waste of time. It will help to reduce the eye strain, also lighten your mood and concentrate better. So this eye roll exercise, it helps in strengthen the weak eye muscle, improves the blood circulation and muscle tone. As most of the kids know, our eye muscles are the fastest acting muscles in our body. So you need to keep them, already always toned. So sit comfortably or stand straight. Keep your shoulders relaxed and with a straight neck, look ahead. Imagine tracing an imaginary horizontal egg figure right in front of you. Do it in clockwise direction first and then follow it up with anti-clockwise direction. Next comes push-up exercise. This exercise will strengthen your eye muscle by converging your eyes and at the same time focusing at different distances in a continuous way. So sit on your chair, relax your shoulder and keep your neck straight and look ahead. Take a pencil or pen in your right hand and hold it right in front of you. Focus on its tip, maintaining the focus, extend the arm completely, and then bring it back to the starting position. It's a very simple exercise. So do it for 10 times a day and always do it slowly and at a regular pace. Next comes blinking. As we saw, seen how effective the blink is. How does it, cleanse the surface for the debris and then brings the nutrients and other substance to the surface of our eye in order to keep them healthy. So sit comfortably, keeping your shoulders relaxed and neck straight. Look at a blank wall. Close your eyes. Hold them for half a second and then open your eyes. Do it for 10 times in order to complete one set. And 2 sets per day will be ideal enough. Next comes focusing exercise. It's an excellent exercise for your eyes and has a potential to resolve many focusing issues. Sit 5 to 6 feet away from the window. Look straight and keep your shoulders relaxed. Extend your right arm in front of you, stick your thumb out, and focus on the tip for 2 seconds. Now, without moving your head, focus on the window for 2 seconds, and then focus on a distant object out of the window for 2 seconds. Then bring the focus back to your thumb. And after finishing these exercises, take a rest for say 3 to 5 minutes in order to relax your eyes. In fact, performing these kind of exercises for weeks or even for some days would provide you with some visible results. This natural eye exercise would reach to the root of the problem of your eyes and act on them. And that's why it's very effective. So, healthy diet for eyes. Good eye health starts with food on your plate. In fact, there is no substitute for the quality of life.
Sir, I have few queries on this example, sir. சார் இப்போ இந்த பிளிங்க் பண்ணணும்னு சொல்றீங்க இல்லையா அந்த ஆன்லைன் கிளாஸஸ் அது எப்படி எவ்வளவு நேரத்துக்கு ஒரு முறை பண்ணணும் சார் அது so that
I think it's better we'll answer the questions at the end of the session so that you don't I'll surely answer your question. So healthy diet for our eyes, we always think about carrots when we think about good diet for our eyes because that's the only vegetable we hear from the childhood days, but is it true? Actually it's not because I can say it's yes and no, since carrot contains beta carotene which helps the retinal cells to function properly, and no because it's not the only food that is good for our eyes. In fact, there are a whole lot of other fruits and vegetables which are good for our eyes. Okay. Right from vitamin C, which has a maximum antioxidant in it. So try to include more of oranges, strawberries, broccolis, and vitamin A, which is abundant in case of liver, eggs, butter, milk, and carrots, which is extremely important for our retina in order to process the visual information. Also have a little bit of zinc in it, which is again helps the vitamin A molecule to reach our eyes. And omega-3 fatty acids. In fact, the fats are necessary part of the human diet. They maintain the integrity of nervous system, fuels the cells, and boost our immune system. So include salmon, mackerel, herring, fish oil supplements, walnuts, and it is extremely important for proper visual development. Okay. And vitamin E, it's again a powerful antioxidant found in nuts, fortified cereals, and sweet potatoes. It protects the cells in our eyes from the unstable molecule called free radicals, which breaks down the healthy tissue. So it not only slows down the macular regeneration, but also prevents cataract. Consuming a handful of almonds in a day is sufficient to keep your eyes healthy. Right. So we cannot neglect the fact that kids are equally exposed to the digital gadgets like the adult in recent times. So therefore, it's extremely important to protect their eyes as well. Uh, Especially during the current conditions, many parents are relaxing the screen time rules for television and video games in order to keep the kids occupied. But prolonged view of computer screens or any digital screen often makes the eyes work harder. Eye visual demands make many individuals susceptible to the development of vision related problems. Particularly, this combination of more screen time and less outdoor activity may actually harm kids' vision. So, carefully manage the kids' screen time to support educational activity and encourage more outdoor activities while maintaining proper social distancing. And in fact, uh, it is very important, especially for kids, because their eyes continues to grow till 21 years of age. So we need to make uh, complete care in it. So let me just play a short video and the kids' exposure to screen. Okay, thank you for your time. So we have this package offer for kids, frame and blue cut spectacle lenses at 1499, and for professionals and adults at 1999. Right. We have an exciting offer on spectacle purchases where second pair you'll get it at 50%, which can be used for your loved ones. And why it has become extremely important for the kids, it's because if at all if there is any uncorrected refractive error, it could lead to problems with their development. It could affect their educational opportunities, eventually the quality of life, and as well as the career opportunities as they grow older. In fact, most children have no idea how they are supposed to cheat. So when a world looked like this, they assume everyone sees the same way, right? And it is extremely frustrating. In fact, recent studies suggested that uh, 1 out of 4 school-going children are having a vision problem, which is not corrected, right? So it becomes our responsibility to get your kids' eyes checked properly and at a regular intervals. So make sure you visit your eye care specialist regularly for exams. Yearly once is suggested, and make sure your glasses or contacts prescription is up to date and good for looking at the computer screen. And if at all, if your eye strain won't go away, talk to your optometrist about computer glasses. Okay, so we always hear about mobile giants and camera companies coming up with a higher resolution of pictures, right? Like 48 megapixel or even 100 megapixel, which gives ultra resolution of picture in order to get more live picture, right? But have you ever thought how good our vision is? In fact, we know we are seeing very clearly. So let's just get a perspective of how excellent our vision is by converting into a megapixel. And it is actually 576 megapixel. That's how the clarity of our vision is. Yet we don't give that much of importance to our eye than it deserves. Okay. So another exciting opportunity, people who are attending this program can avail 10% discount on all spectacles, sunglasses, and contact lenses from LawrenceMayo across Chennai. So interested candidates can give their contact numbers to the team. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you guys enjoyed the session, and I'm open to take up the questions.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that very informative, very necessary session, sir. Thank you so much. Audience, the floor is now open for you. You can raise whatever questions you want. You can either post it in the chat box or you can unmute yourself and raise your questions. Please feel free to unmute and ask your questions.
No, I want to know more about that blink part, which is not possible. So I would like to understand it better.
All right, sir. There are two parts of it. Actually, blinking, it's extremely important, especially when you're concentrating on things, right? Normally, when we concentrate on things like watching television or working in front of computers, we tend to forget blinking because of concentration, you know, and it will deeply uh, affect our eye and leads to dryness. So you need to keep in your mind that you need to blink more frequently. And other thing is that 20-20-20 rule, where our eyes, or when we focused at one particular distance, it gets locked to a certain extent, right? In order to release that, every 20 minutes you need to look at 4 objects just for 20 seconds, right? So that you relax your accommodation and it will no longer gives you any kind of eye strain, or some people might even have a headache. Those will be controlled with that.
Thank you, sir. A note to the audience, this session will be available on our YouTube channel. So if you want to revisit or if you want to share this with your friends and family, you can share the link. It will be available along with all our previous Raack Talk sessions. So kindly subscribe. So kindly subscribe and stay updated with all the videos. Do we have any questions? All right. I'll then request Divakar sir to give the closing statement.
So thank you very much to the Lawrence and Mayo team. It was a very good session, and we have learned some of the key factors influencing the eyes in today's online world. So thank you very much for this wonderful session. Over to you, Sundar.
Thank you. Once again, I'd like to thank Mr. Sundar, Mr. Manohar, and the team of Lawrence and Mayo for spending their valuable time on a Sunday evening and sharing this very important information with us. So next week, we will be back yet again with another exciting, entertaining, and informative session. So until then, take care, good evening, and good night.